American Eagle Flight 5342 was a routine domestic flight. It departed from Wichita, Kansas on a chilly January evening. Its destination was Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport, just outside of the nation's capital. 60 passengers settled into their seats, ready for the journey. 4 crew members prepared for a standard flight. Nothing seemed amiss as the CRJ-700 climbed into the darkening sky. The flight progressed normally for the first leg. Passengers enjoyed in-flight services, unaware of the tragedy looming ahead. As Flight 5342 approached Washington, D.C., the crew prepared for descent. The lights of the city flickered below, a beacon against the backdrop of the night. It was a routine approach, one the pilots had flown countless times before. However, fate had other plans. Unbeknownst to the pilots of Flight 5342, a U.S. Army UH-60 Black Hawk helicopter was also operating in the vicinity of the airport. The Black Hawk, with 3 personnel on board, was on a training mission. The skies above Washington were becoming crowded, a recipe for potential disaster. At approximately 8:48 p.m. Eastern Time, the unthinkable happened. Flight 5342 and the Black Hawk collided with a sickening crunch of metal against metal. The collision occurred at a horrifying altitude, leaving little time for reaction. The plane, its fuselage ripped apart by the impact, spiraled toward the ground. The Black Hawk, severely damaged, plummeted into the dark waters of the Potomac River. The sound of the crash echoed across the city, a terrifying interruption to the quiet evening. Emergency responders rushed to the scene, but hopes of finding survivors dwindled with each passing moment. The immediate aftermath was grim. Debris from both aircraft littered the Potomac River. Rescue boats searched desperately for survivors, but the chances of finding anyone alive were slim. The official death toll stood at 67, all 64 souls aboard Flight 5342 and the 3 crew members of the Black Hawk helicopter. The recovery effort was extensive and heart-wrenching, with families and loved ones grappling with the unimaginable loss. A full investigation was launched immediately. The National Transportation Safety Board, the agency responsible for investigating aviation accidents, took the lead. Their focus turned to the black boxes, the flight data recorder and the cockpit voice recorder, recovered from the wreckage of Flight 5342. These devices, designed to withstand extreme impacts, held crucial information about the final moments of the flight. Simultaneously, investigators began looking into the air traffic control operations at Reagan National Airport. Reports emerged of understaffing and a lack of dedicated controllers for helicopter traffic, raising serious concerns about potential systemic failures that may have contributed to the tragedy. The tragic collision of Flight 5342 and the Black Hawk helicopter serves as a stark reminder of the critical role air traffic control plays in aviation safety. Every day, thousands of aircraft share the skies above us, relying on a complex system of communication and coordination to prevent collisions. Air traffic controllers are the unsung heroes of this system, guiding aircraft through takeoffs, landings, and en route navigation. The investigation into the crash will undoubtedly scrutinize the role of air traffic control in this tragedy. Was there a breakdown in communication? Were there procedural errors or staffing issues that contributed to the accident? These are crucial questions that demand thorough and transparent answers. The findings of the investigation will likely lead to changes in air traffic control procedures, training, and technology. The goal is to prevent such a tragedy from ever happening again, honoring the memory of those lost by making the skies safer for everyone.